Hello everyone, thank you for tuning into our YouTube channel, Save Green here. I wanted to thank everyone for your support throughout the years. We have already hit 10,000 subscribers on our channel, so we are very excited about that. And today we wanted to talk about saving money when it comes to electric consumption. And just so you get a little background, I was in the energy audit and energy conservation field, served as an energy management consultant for one major utility here in Florida. It's called Florida Power and Light, in case you're somewhere else that's not in Florida. And then a small cooperative in the west coast of Florida, southwest Florida coast, Lee County Electric Cooperative. So I do have experience with helping customers lower their electric bills. I do not work for a solar company. I do not work in this field anymore. So I have the freedom to speak about it without being biased towards a certain company or a certain field or whatnot. So without further ado, I wanted to go into purchasing solar is calculate how much you're actually going to save. So whether you're doing the solar upgrade at your home as a DIY, which is something that you might want to do if you're up for it, or you're paying a contractor for it. This is something you always want to calculate. What am I actually going to save every month? Because the solar company, if you are going with a solar company, is telling you one thing, but another thing is after it's installed, after you already signed a contract, what is the actual savings going to be? And that is the giant question mark when it comes to solar. So I'm going to help you. I'm going to make it easy for you in a simple process where you can pretty much do it by yourself and calculate your costs. So let's say you're going with a DIY and you're going to buy the solar equipment yourself. And the thing with buying the solar equipment yourself, if after you buy it, you realize, this is not for me, I'm going to hire an electrician. It's still going to be way cheaper, way more affordable than if you paid a company to install it. They're going to, these so-called solar companies, which are here today and in 5, 10, 15 years are gone. The problem with that is they're charging you way more than what it would cost you to buy the equipment yourself and then hire an electrician that's not only capable but licensed, insured, that will pull the permits. And that's important. You want to have permits pulled because you want his work inspected by your city or the area where you live. So make sure the permits is part of the cost. But you're most likely going to get a better rate even if he charges you $40 an hour. The install should take no more than 2 days. So let's say 10-hour days times 2, 20 hours. But again, it's going to be more affordable if you buy the equipment yourself and have an electrician, a capable electrician that has experience installing solar. We don't want your house to be the guinea pig. So keep that in mind. So what do? We need to calculate how much actual solar hours are occurring where you live. So what you want to do is, we have a website here that you go into and you look up the city where you live, or at least try to find the area closest to where you live. We're in Florida right now, and the closest city where we are at is Tampa, Florida. And then you have Miami. Now on the left side of the column, we have the average daily hours of sunlight on the panel. We're not talking about overall sunlight. We know there's more than 6 hours of sunlight in the summer, but we're talking about direct, clean light or solar rays on that panel. And why we say clean, we mean non-cloudy, no rain, just direct sunlight without any shade. Now, remember this, if you live in Florida, clouds are a form of shading, believe it or not. If you live somewhere like Arizona, or you have lived somewhere in the desert like Arizona or Nevada, where there are virtually no clouds, you know what I'm talking about. direct sunlight, no clouds, just the sun beaming down on those panels. So you want to keep that in mind. This is your daily. On the left column here is your daily summer. On the middle is your winter average hours. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit less. And then on the far right, this is the one we want to look at. This is your average hours for the whole year. Winter, spring, fall, summer, everything. So we're going to take Tampa. And remember this number, 5.67. That's the amount of daily solar hours that you're going to get on your panels. 5.67 hours. I'm actually going to write it down on my calculator and on my sheet so we can later go back to it. 5.67. Okay, so we're going to use that as illustration purposes. Try to choose a city or state near where you are, and the numbers are pretty accurate. This is a company that's not in the business to exaggerate things. This is why you want to look at these sources rather than just taking what your sales guy is telling you across your kitchen table, because your salesman's job is to sell you a system. So once you got that, okay, 5.67, you want to resort to your most current, recent electric bill. This is very important. Make sure it's your most current, most recent electric bill. We're going to take a customer's electric bill here. We're going to block off the meter number to keep their privacy private. And we're going to do two things. I'm going to pull my calculator here. And we're going to calculate how much is it costing you to pay for your kilowatt hour. And this is what you're billed by your power company. This is important when it comes to calculating how much you're actually going to save. So in this case, we're going to take the total electric bill. This is after taxes, after everything, your total bill, the bottom line, so to speak, $88.18. And we're going to put that on here, $88.18. And we're going to divide that by the total amount of kilowatt hours that you're billed on that same bill. So in this case, it's 633. So 88.18 divided by 633. And this is going to give you your average kilowatt hour cost, 0.139. So 13.9 cents per kilowatt hour. I'm going to round it off to 0.14. Okay, so 0.14 would be what you're paying the power company for electricity. And to double check your work, you can take 0.14, which is actually a little bit more, and multiply it by 633, and it would be close to this number down here, 88.62, 88.18. So this is how you double check and make sure you got the numbers right. So we're going to use 14 cents a kilowatt hour as the cost for this customer right here to pay for electricity. Now, having that in mind, you're going to go and look at this system and say, okay, I want to buy this system. This system is right here, 3,100 watts. Now, keep in mind when some solar companies or even online, or your salesman will say this is a 3 kilowatt system or 5 kW system. They'll use all these numbers that sometimes are confusing, but in retrospect, a 3 kW system is 3 kilowatt, which is also 3,000 watts. This one that I'm showing you here as an illustration is a 3.1 kW system or 3.1 kilowatt system. So what it basically means is that for every hour of direct sunlight on that system, on all these panels put together, you're going to produce 3.1 kilowatts. Now you're making the kilowatts instead of paying the company. In this case, this is what we call an off-grid system, which has batteries. We won't go into the different type of systems, but we'll just use this for illustration purposes. 3.1 kW or 3.1 kilowatt system. So we're going to bring our calculator back. And the reason why we're going to do that is because we're also going to look at this figure here. So we need all these three numbers: what you're paying per kilowatt, the amount of hours, depending where you live, because some areas get more sun than others, and then also the type of system. If you're going to buy a 2.3 kilowatt system or a 3.1 kilowatt system, in this case, we're going to use 3.1 kilowatt, which is the same as 3,100 watts, or 3.1 kW system. Again, it's how it's worded by your salesperson. Okay? So let's go back and look at this figure here. 5.67 hours daily is my average, times 365. So what we're showing you here is how many hours in a year I'm going to have of direct solar. So 2,069 and a half, basically, hours of direct sunlight. Once you have the hours figured out, you're going to multiply that by the system that you're going to put in. If you're going to get a 5 kilowatt system, you're going to multiply that times 5. If you're going to get a 3.1 kilowatt system, you're going to multiply by 3.1. So we're going to multiply the hours a year times 3.1 kilowatt hours. This, folks, here is showing you the amount of kilowatts or kilowatt hours that your system is going to produce in 1 year. Oh, great, that's fine and dandy, but we still haven't gotten to the number we want to get, which is how much money are you going to put in your pocket with this system? So once you have the amount of kilowatt hours that the solar panels are going to produce, you need to multiply that by, remember this on the electric bill, by what you're paying per kilowatt hour, which is 0.14. So that number that you're seeing right there on your screen is the amount of dollars that you're going to make every year with your solar panels. Now, it might be shocking to you that, oh, wait a minute, I thought it was going to be more. Or wait, no, that's actually pretty good. We'll go into other videos in the future showing you things that you want to look at or consider when you're considering solar for your home. And this is part of it. You have to look at this number because this is how much money you're going to put in your pocket every year. This is very important because now you can look at this number and then you can look at the cost and see how long would it take you to recuperate your money. With that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope this video was very informative and educational to you. If it was, please take 1 second of your time, give us a thumbs up. Also, please subscribe to our channel. Forward this channel to your friends or anyone that you know that is looking into perhaps putting solar in their house so they can calculate how much money they're actually going to put in their pocket. Remember, the amount of hours that you're gaining, you want to use a source that is unbiased. According to the Florida Solar Energy Center, they say close to 6 hours. So 6 hours of solar electricity is the average for the entire state of Florida. But as you can see here, it's just below that in many of the cities. And in some places, it's just right around 5. And that's because that's the north part of Florida. If you live on the south side of Florida, you're going to get a little bit more sunlight throughout the year than you would anywhere else. But you want to make this the big picture when you're putting solar in your home. Again, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel, give us a like, share it, and we will see you next time on another video.